My sources say the Dazn whip around show ChangeUp is over. Canceled. More bad news for Dazn. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Head over to my Patreon, link in the description. Click on that link, and it does help the channel so we can continue growing. Or you could become a YouTube channel member. Just hit the join button below this video and join. You know, we got the group sessions. It's been a great time. Now, more bad news for Dazn streaming app. Now, let's take you guys back in case you're new. We're in the pandemic, but before that, Dazn, they had been out less than a year, like breaking through America, trying to come to America. Eddie Hearn says, get ready for the American takeover, yada, yada, yada. And less than a year of being out, they doubled their price by 100%. They went from $9.99 a month to $19.99. So, you know, double, 100% price hike. And when they did that, they also announced that you can only have the grandfathered in plan. So even if you're paying for the $9.99, that was only going to lock you in for 1 year. So that is now over, and people should be getting processed off of the $9.99 price points to the $19.99, or you have to cancel or get the yearly subscription. They did come out with an annual package where you could pay $100 up front for Dazn for a year. I told you on my channel back then, a lot of people said I was hating and stuff like that, but I said I'm not comfortable. I would just use Dazn for boxing. You know, that's my sport. I can get everything else elsewhere. So I would be looking at it for boxing. Boxing is such a fickle sport that you never know. Fighters get injured, fail drug tests. You know, there's no indication. I didn't feel comfortable giving my money $100 to Dazn without a proven track record of what type of fight you're going to make, you know, and $20 a month, you know, that's a bit steeper. But when they came out with this 100% price hike, they came up with this MLB show. In case you watch baseball, it was a whip around show called the ChangeUp. And my sources now tell me that that Dazn show, it's over. You know, it's not coming back. Now, the reason this is interesting is the MLB season was just announced. It says what you need to know. Like, this is just an article from Fox Sports, right? Training camp is in full swing, scrimmages are underway, and the MLB's regular season officially returns on Thursday. So if you guys follow MLB and baseball, you'll know that baseball is back, you know? See? Says it right there. Boom. Says baseball is back. So this is Fox Sports. It says, here's everything you need to know about the 60-game 2020 season, from the modified schedule to the new rules and much more, right? 60-game race to the postseason. So we're in a pandemic. A lot of sports and live sporting events have been compromised, but, you know, it's gradually starting to come back with modified rules, and, you know, they're looking after the athlete's safety, etc. So MLB is back. You know, this is the schedule, opening day, yada, 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 if you're a baseball fan. Now, it's an interesting decision from Dazn to cancel this show. And, you know, I don't just get on here willy-nilly and make videos, but my sources say that Dazn ChangeUp is canceled. Sporting News is owned by Dazn, and this is them when they came out with the ChangeUp show and hiked up the price. So July of last year. So within basically a year, within less than a year, the show is already canceled. It's usually not a good indication. But Sporting News, this website, they were reporting about it when the show first, you know, went live or whatever. It says Dazn to stream MLB show ChangeUp live on Twitter, offering a limited free trial, which they no longer do free trials. And my source told me that if you go to the ChangeUp's old Twitter, like I was following them, boom, the account does not exist. So it's looking like my source is accurate, because I don't understand why they would get rid of the social media handle that I would follow. you know, if you watch MLB baseball. And it says the account doesn't exist. And I even looked on my phone, like maybe I'm tripping, but this was the official account that they had on Twitter. And now all of a sudden it's not there. So, you know, it looks like the information I was fed was accurate. So it doesn't look like they're renewing this show. Now, the thing is, Eddie Hearn came to America and he said that it was the American takeover. See, look, here's other articles talking about it. They said it was the American takeover and he was putting the world, you know, US on notice and stuff like that. And they hiked up the price. They said pay-per-view is dead. Now Eddie Hearn's talking about pay-per-view. See, look, the tweet from this account no longer exists. So it looks like they deactivated or, you know, got rid of the account completely. Not a good sign. So you have employees that got laid off in December with the social media team. I know people on that team that got, you know, lost their job. Then later, when the pandemic struck, and even before the pandemic, you heard like Dazn, like EVPs or, you know, the people, the big wigs, they were saying that no more lofty purses. We're going to start cutting that out. Purses are going to be more reasonable. Then they furloughed employees, you know, another sign, telltale sign. On top of furloughing employees, they also refused to pay the rights fees to different things, you know, different sporting companies during the pandemic because their schedule got frozen with the pandemic. And they're having difficulty making Canelo's fight. They said Caleb Smith, you know, he was offered $5 million, but he wants $6 million. We'll see where that goes. It's just looking a mess, man. I'm just being honest. It's looking crazy. The DAZN curse continues. They didn't Matchroom. They didn't renew Michael Hunter's career contract, who is, I think, once beaten heavyweight. Daniel Roman didn't get renewed. You know, it's when you just look at the signs. You know, not renewing fighters' contract, even if they're doing good, because really Michael Hunter beat Alexander Povetkin, so it's not like he took a bunch of losses or something. They're canceling the ChangeUp show. They had the Pat McAfee show that's no longer on DAZN. I mean, it looks like they're stripping down the bare bones minimum. Now, from a business, you know, let me go to something because this page has nothing to look at while I'm talking. It's just blank. But the downside is, from a business and from the fan perspective, is now DAZN, they haven't announced Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell, so I don't know if that fight's even going to happen. You know, allegedly the WBC said there was a 48-hour deadline. Haven't heard no updates. You have weird interviews from Oscar De La Hoya where he said he'd be open to fight Canelo and he's running for president and, you know, just crazy stuff. He's returning back to boxing. Canelo's reportedly mad at Golden Boy. Eddie Hearn's fight camp couldn't get Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. They're getting rid of shows like Pat McAfee and also the ChangeUp, which, you know, I'm breaking the news. I haven't heard no one talking about it. So the downside for DAZN customers is I'm sure they were hit heavily by the pandemic. And instead of gaining more content like Netflix or something, they're actually losing content. MLB is coming back, but they're saying, you know, we're not doing the whip around show ChangeUp anymore. You can't watch the Pat McAfee show on DAZN anymore. So I don't know if they're replacing it with other content, but at $100 per year and no Canelo fight announced, no Triple G fight announced, no Ryan Garcia fight announced, no Anthony Joshua fight announced. Canelo was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Then that went out the window. Katie Taylor was supposed to fight Amanda Serrano. That went out the window. Triple G, I haven't really heard of him, you know, like what he's doing. I mean, these are desperate times. Desperate times. You know, it says fight season lineup. Virgil Ortiz versus Vargas. You know, Guy Amir Khan beat. Errol Spence stopped. Danny Garcia stopped. I think he might have even fought Kell Brook, if I'm not mistaken. Canelo coming very soon. Triple G coming very soon. Anthony Joshua coming soon. And that's it. Like, again, this is not a good sign for their launch in America. I know they're supposed to possibly launch in different markets, but as far as in America, man, it's looking rough, because the shows like the MLB show or Pat McAfee that some people may have watched, they're not renewing, and I haven't heard what they're replacing with or any major announcements. Meanwhile, you have Showtime, which Eddie Hearn says Showtime will be out of business in the same fashion as HBO boxing. He said it would take about a year and then they'd be out of business. He made promises like pay-per-view is dead. And all the reports are suggesting that Showtime Boxing is dropping a monster boxing calendar with both Charlos, possibly, at least Jermall Charlo and Derevyanchenko. Then Jermell might fight on Fox against Jason Rosario. This is both on PBC, either Fox or Showtime. They're saying Showtime pay-per-view with Gervonta Tank Davis, a bona fide star, and Leo Santa Cruz, a big name, respected guy, nice guy. And we don't even know what else fights. You still got Errol Spence. We got to still see if Pacquiao fights. And DAZN's charging $100 a year, and they're canceling programs instead of coming out with a bunch of new programs that are really going to gain traction. So we'll see how it plays out. But my source says that DAZN, the ChangeUp show, is now finito. And by the looks of it, it says the tweet from this account no longer exists. So it looks like that's accurate, because I don't know why they would delete their Twitter, which had, information. And then if you go on their website, it don't say nothing about the ChangeUp anymore. So looks like they try to pull a little sneak move and subtly get rid of it, because I haven't seen anyone talk about it. So I think at this point, even before the pandemic, DAZN was talking about cutting people's purses, and also they were also trying to raise money with Goldman Sachs and trying to get investors. Then the pandemic happened. It's just a lot of stuff right now, and they're gonna have to filter through this to make it through this pandemic and get in the green, because this is just, I feel like content is king. I've always said that on my channel. Content is king. So you can't be losing content and not replacing it with something, yet you're the highest price point, you're the market leader, and you have, in terms of your fighters, you have fighters like Canelo, and they're saying he's going to do a pay cut. Canelo's been a loss leader. Look it up. Lost leader on DAZN for a minute. Triple G versus Steve Rolls, $15 million. That's what he reportedly got for Steve Rolls. Just bad business decisions. Now, hacking and cutting and axing programs. You can't charge more than your competitors, like Netflix. That's about $13.99. Hulu. You can get on my channel. Listen, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. You can get all three apps. Use my link below for $12.99. That's 3 apps cheaper than one DAZN subscription. And whereas Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, they keep adding stuff like the Bruce Lee Be Water documentary and stuff, UFC fights that happen. Sometimes they go on the app or Top Rank cards or whatever. They're adding content. And then you have DAZN, their price point, they're talking about raising it, going to pay-per-view, stuff like that, but they're subtracting content. So I really would like to see a game plan as to what DAZN will be doing. Baseball's coming back, but they're getting rid of their baseball shows. So, I don't really understand the strategy. Then you have your biggest stars, like I said, like Canelo. And literally, at the time of recording this video, actually, I don't have my phone on me, but I got my clock right there. July 22nd, Canelo's supposed to fight on September 12th, and they're still negotiating with Caleb Smith, Quigley, and whoever else, and no answer. So I'm not really understanding it, but it's not my company, but I'm here to report the facts, give my opinions. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel in a phenomenal way when you guys click on that link. ESPN Plus, home of a lot of original content exclusives. They got docuseries, documentaries. Click the link below. It helps the channel, helps me continue as a one-man band and one-man army to push out more content. Curious to see what DAZN's going to do. Their fight schedule. That's why I think I see a lot of clout chasing. Like, Virgil Ortiz, right, this week, he's supposed to be fighting Samuel Vargas, but you'll see interviews where he's talking about fighting Errol Spence or something. Like, what does that have to do with Samuel Vargas? Instead of building the fight that's actually this Friday, they rather talk about a PBC guy or Keith Thurman or whoever, you know. This is Luke Campbell says he can knock out Ryan Garcia, but again, is the Ryan Garcia Luke Campbell fight even done? Because I haven't seen any updates from Golden Boy or DAZN posting the fight. So, you know, we'll see. But another show, another one lost, another one. It's getting chippy. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We work. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.